You got 100,000 people here and they all had stories to tell.
This is the 3 generations working on the Snowy, and there's my father and my mum, and then my son, Ronnie, and myself. Dad had an interview in Hamburg when we were still in Germany, of course. And anyway, he sat us down and said, look, I'm going to see if I can get a job in Australia, and will we all for it? And so that was my sister, myself, my mum. And we said, yeah, it'd be an experience. That was in June. By September, Dad was on the Scorpion, the ship coming to Australia.
When I first came to Cooma, I was only 18 and I had not seen a migrant, and suddenly there were more migrants here than anything else. However, it was not long before we were working with them shoulder to shoulder, and they were just the same as us.
There was a clerk working in system design, the office where I first joined as a student for 2 weeks. He was in the German army in World War II. He was an anti-aircraft gunner. He was shooting down the Allies' planes. And yet, here in Cooma, he took part in the Anzac Day march. He was so glad to bring his wife and children and make a new life in Australia away from that terrible war.
You learn their language too, and at a time went to go to the mess for a feed, they were mangiare, and so to go down to the mess with it. And so they learned some of our words, generally the bad ones, and we learned some of theirs, generally the bad ones too.
On the job, there was a great sense of teamwork. You supported one another. You had a responsibility to each other. And you were working together to do the job properly.
We all sort of came from broken countries, and we all came together here and formed these friendships. Like, I had friends, my friends were Estonian, there was Hungarian, there was Italians, and we all went out together and we had fun, and we learned to cook from each other. I sort of learned the Italian by cooking and a bit of Hungarian, and they learned German way, the sauerkraut and the schnitzel. It was great. And I think this is why people just kept living here too, wanting to stay here. When I heard about the heritage listing of the Snowy, and I was just blown away. I'm just, it's just beautiful to think that all the people who work on the scheme will be remembered. And this, and our grandchildren, great-grandchildren probably hear about and want to know more about the scheme. And I am really proud, I'm so proud of having worked there, and my father worked so hard, and he gave us a new meaning, life. And I'd be so happy to do this all over again.